was to galvanize. And the first Black Leadership Summit I've been working with Charlie since 2017. We held the first Black Leadership Summit at the White House for Black conservatives to go. Never has happened in the history of the country. Charlie's idea, the white man you talking about, his idea was to galvanize. And you know who helped us do it? For you suckers out there, you know who helped us do it? We got one black man to donate us money to get all those kids out. We pay every single one of their airfare. We put them up in a hotel, and some of them ain't never been to the White House before. Some of them ain't never put on a dress before. They never had an occasion where they can dress up before. We paid for every one of them to get there. One black man gave 20 grand. Who was helping us raise money to get black people to the White House? White people. The man that stood next to me that would go to fundraiser to fundraiser, the woman that stood next to me to go from fundraiser to fundraiser to tell people about the mission that Charlie Kirk started was number white people. And then you turn around.
Wow. Told y'all. Told y'all black people just talk. Black people just talk. They don't do anything. 99% of the time. They just talk. You really think that the people that say, oh, Trump is this, oh, Charlie Kirk is this, all the people that's online, you really think these people even read books? These people always say, yo, if I had, everything is if they had. Why don't you get it and go do something? Why don't you go get it and go do something for the people that you say you love, for the people that you say, oh, Charlie Kirk was racist against, but he helped more black people than you. It hurts. It hurts, don't it?
That man ain't never been racist to me. Charlie ain't got a racist bone in his body. Y'all Negroes don't want to hear the truth from a black man. The funny thing is, you claim that it's bad that people are honoring Charlie Kirk, and he was much better of a man than George Floyd.
Got you. You tell them, Officer Tate. Officer Tate, you let them know. George Floyd, y'all have a statue of somebody who was a crackhead. Y'all have a statue of somebody who is a crackhead up in every city. Every black city you go to. I get it. The man got held down by police because he didn't want to listen to police instructions. You know what George Floyd caused? He caused a generation of people to disrespect police. George Floyd caused a generation of people to say, yo, I don't want them to put they knee on my neck. I ain't listening to nothing. You're doing the opposite. George Floyd didn't listen to police. That's why he ended up in the situation he did. Not saying that the police is correct in his actions, but at the same time, if you look on TikTok and Instagram and, all these shows that, and these YouTubers that react to, real film of police getting police stopping black people, you don't see all the black people acting like a George Floyd. Yo, why you stop me for? Yo, I was just going to the store. Yo, I was just going in the car. Yo, I was just walking. Yo, I was just praying. They doing everything in the book but listening to police.
Working with Charlie since 2017. We held the first Black Leadership Summit at the White House for black conservatives to go. Never has happened in the history of the country. Charlie's idea, the white man you talking about, his idea was to galvanize. And you know who helped us do it? For you suckers out there, you know who helped us do it? We got one black man to donate us money to get all those kids out. We pay every single one of their airfare. We put them up in a hotel, and some of them ain't never been to the White House before. Some of them ain't never put on a dress before. They never had an occasion where they can dress up before. We paid for every one of them to get there. One black man gave 20 grand. Who was helping us raise money to get black people to the White House? White people. The man that stood next to me that would go to fundraiser to fundraiser, the woman that stood next to me to go from fundraiser to fundraiser to tell people about the mission that Charlie Kirk started was number white people. And then you turn around.
The mission that Charlie Kirk started was nothing but white people. Helping black people and helping kids in the inner city get to dress up and go to the White House. What have you done? What have you done besides sit there and talk and stand on the corner and go to the liquor store and go get a bag? I gotta go get a bag today. That's the only thing you gotta do today. Don't you got 8 kids? You don't go to the park. You don't go to the school. You don't have any meetings with anybody to speak about their progress in school. There's 8 of them. I mean, you should be busy. I mean, the average person that's really maneuvering with their kids, 3 kids, got them busy. Why are you not busy? Why do you have all this time in your hands? Why is Charlie Kirk talking about black people so bad when he's trying to help people out? Y'all put up a statue of somebody who never spoke about black people, never helped black people. All he did was be black and have black kids and do black bad behavior. And that's Charles Floyd. That's George Floyd, my bad. That's George Floyd. And that's what y'all like? That's your hero? A crackhead that like to do PCP? That's the liberals' hero. Well, you know what? The liberals, y'all can have y'all hero. Y'all can put y'all cape on and put George Floyd's face in the back of it. We gonna have our hero. We got a few of them. The one right here on the screen is a hero too, Andrew. Tate, Officer Tate. This is a hero. Charlie Kirk is a hero. Trump is a hero. Y'all are nothing but, how should I say this? Zeros. Low IQ Democrats. We're gonna follow up with this interaction that we kind of found with Charlie, and is Charlie versus something that I spoke about in many videos, especially on TikTok. The destruction of the black man, and this is the destruction of the black man. Besides, low education, no fathers in the home. This is the second stage of the black community destruction. Y'all don't know that? The second stage is psychological warfare with sex, confusing the minds, having them think that they're not what they are. And we're going to get to it. We're going to see how and analyze how Charlie broke down this. I don't even know what this is, but we're gonna get to it. Let's get to it.
Good. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna give a little bit of a backstory on myself. I'm Jaden Clark. I'm a student here. Freshman year, I was hate crime 5 times in one night. Okay, 3 of them by Trump supporters.
What happened to you?
Okay, for one of them, I was just walking, and then I see this truck full of 4 white men pass by me, MAGA apparel, everything, And then...
Did they say this is MAGA country?
Anyways, they drove past me, and they were like, you bend over.
Okay, so they said the N-word on campus to you?
Well, yes.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so what happened to them when you reported them?
Do this even sound like it make any sense? Now, Charlie's on the depths of like a super liberal college. Most colleges are liberal. Most colleges, 90% of them are liberal maniacs. And you're telling me that all of a sudden there's 4 white men riding through your campus and teasing you, and they got MAGA this and they got MAGA this on. That's why Charlie making fun of him. Look.
I didn't report them.
Oh, really? Okay, so maybe it didn't happen.
Okay, anyways.
I don't believe you. I'm being honest, I don't believe you. I think
Okay.
you're making it up.
Okay. Anyways,
You see, this is the problem. You see, we got men taking up the traits of females. You see how females want to cry and they like to be victims, and you touch their butt, they want to get $1 million for you, and it happened 30 years ago. This is what we create: weak men. Now, instead of having a story where there was 5 MAGA men and they was trying to talk junk to you, and you was like, "Yo, come out and fight me like a man." Instead, you're telling a story where you're pretending that you're the female. You're pretending that you're the female, and these men want you. They want you so bad. They just want to make fun of you, and they just want to take your sexuality. It doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. This is a boy who been traumatized, probably M-word. Probably M-word by his stepfather. Who knows? This is a kid that's confused. This is a kid that's crying out for help. He's crying out for God. And Charlie was there to help him, but he didn't want the help. You know what he wanted to do? Push a narrative, because a lot of these liberals, they don't have their own mind. They're just entertaining the people behind them who are also followers.
I refuse to believe that somebody on this campus would go around and sheepishly call you the N-word. I refuse to believe that. I think you're lying.
anyways, next instance, they threatened to rape me, and then just.
You see how he looked to the side? You see how he looked to the side? He looked to the side because he told his friends what he was going to do before he came up there. And then when Charlie called him a liar, he looked over his friends. If you rewind back, he looked at his friends like, should I keep going? He caught me, guys. Because this is what they do. This is what they do. They argue about fantasies in their head, and then they make up a whole bunch of lies to try to prove their argument, because their argument is nothing but a whole bunch of stuff that they want to do that's not the norm, that's based on a whole bunch of emotions.
Drove off.
Hold on. So a bunch of Trump guys who are largely white heterosexual males then also threatened to rape you?
Different group of people, but yes.
All in one night?
All in one night, sir.
I think you're making this up.
Okay, that's fine.
But what evidence do you have for this? Do you have like corroborating witnesses? Do you have cameras? Do you have license plate numbers? Because now we're talking about crimes. Threatening to rape you is an intent of a crime. Did you go to the police? You file a police report? You hire an attorney? You sue the school? Did you go to the civil rights office? Do you file a civil rights complaint? Did you do any of that? Because you should.
Okay.
No, did you? Tell me. Yes or no?
I did not. But
Why?
I'm not going to argue with you.
No, but you're coming in front of 2,000 people to say it. Why did you
Right.
not go to the university and say this happened?
Okay, because how would I report them?
Anyone. There's
Who would I
hotlines
report?
all over this campus.
How would you report them? How would you? Now all of a sudden a liberal don't know how to report anything. Now all of a sudden a liberal don't know how to report anything. What is going on with this world? How he just asked somebody that's not even part of the school, how do you report them? When you go on a campus, it's actually like buttons everywhere that you could press. It says emergency on it. Yeah. Yeah. There's actually like campuses that actually have their own police force. Yeah. 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 Yeah, this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with an evil that just want to win. We're dealing with an evil that just want to win, and they took out an amazing man like Charlie, who is just trying to help them mentally.
You guys have nothing but like, if something happens to you, I think you're making this up. I think you're doing this to try to make a point.
Okay.
I don't think there's any evidence.
I can promise you, God as my witness, I am not. Anyways.
No, but seriously, why don't you today commit? Let's do this. I'm going to show you the university official, and why don't you go file a Department of Education complaint, and let's find these terrible people that did this to you. Can we agree?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll think about
and by
that.
the way, we'll be able to look at security camera footage, and we'll see.
Okay, I'll think about that.
But you didn't do that.
Can I
though.
try to finish?
You'll think about it. Hold on. Why wouldn't you want to do that immediately?
Why would you just think about it? Why would you not just do it? Why do you have to think about it, he, she? Why don't you just do it? It's because it's a lie. And Charlie Kirk caught him. And this is the reason why he got killed, because when you go back and you look at his master, his work, his work that he did for Turning Point, you will see why somebody will come after him, because he had a lot of them crying. He actually had a lot of them like going back in their brains and trying to unbreak the brainwash. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, he's right. Why am I up here talking about a man and he should be a woman? Like, he actually broke them in mid-argument a lot of times.
Lee.
Can I talk?
No, but you're making a serious accusation. Please, I'm just...
And I'm not going to argue with you about my personal experiences. Anyways.
It didn't happen, man.
Okay, that's cool. Anyways, I feel like every time I step foot on this campus, I have a wall of vitriol and hate at my back. And to the audience, I say to you, these are your fathers, these are your siblings, and these are your neighbors. So y'all need to clock them. And I hate overgeneralizing, but I'm not going to say all Trump supporters are racist, but a good amount. Anyways, my question to you is, if you had one message to say to...
He's trying to bring an argument. Oh my gosh, why? Why are people so dumb? He's trying to bring an argument. He comes here with a made-up story, and then he's trying to finish up the story by not bringing up claims and not bringing up evidence of like, okay, I think you're racist because you're this, you're that. He just throws in the racist. Like, what do the whole conversation have nothing to do with racism, but because this is a black boy that feel that he could call anybody racist because he's black. He feels that he could just call anybody racist because he's black. So he feels like he could tell any white man that helps out, even if you're a white man and you gave $1 billion to the black community, it'd be people like this that would tell that white man, oh, you're racist, you just did it for clout. But what have you done?
These people with the hate in their hearts, what would you tell them?
I would tell you to stop lying.
What would you tell them? Not to me.
No, honestly, I think you're Jussie Smollett at this campus. I think you're completely making this whole thing up. I think you are a complete liar, because I am now giving you an opportunity to report this at the high. I will bring this to Linda McMahon, the head of the Department of Education, the federal government. I will make sure these people are arrested by Kash Patel, the head of the FBI. And you'll say, oh, I'll think about it. Because you're making this up. You're doing...
He said he's going to bring it to the head of the education department of the United States of America. You don't see dude face. He's like, oh, yo, I think I'm in trouble. I'm about to get kicked out of school. You can't lie. You can't lie. Yo, you just got to admit that the liberal argument is stupid and is made up. It's all based on childhood imagination. You know, when you're a child, sometimes sometimes it didn't happen to me, but sometimes you may grow up and you may be a little confused sometimes. Some kids are confused, like, and you got to tell them, like, no, John, dresses are for girls.
Doing this for a political purpose. So will you... No, seriously, Kash Patel will get involved. Yes? It's a hate crime. That's not acceptable. Well, hold on. No, will you do this or not?
That's really cute, Charlie, but I'm trying to give you the opportunity to alleviate hate within this group of people who have a shared ideology.
But hold on a second. There's no hate. There's just love of America here in this audience. That's all that's here today, okay? That's all that's here. But back to you. I heard your accusation. I'm now going to go to the University of Tennessee and tweet this and say, hey, this is a serious accusation, okay? That's all that's here. But back to you. I heard your accusation. I'm now going to go to the University of Tennessee and tweet this and say, hey, this is a serious accusation. I want the governor to get involved, by the way. Okay. The governor's getting involved. I'm going to call Marsha Blackburn. I'm now going to call Big Haggerty. I know all these people, and we're going to find out really quickly if you're telling the truth or not, because you just came in front of 2,000 people, and we're going to go bring in the police. We'll bring in the FBI, because what you just said is unacceptable. You said Trump supporters called you the N-word. That is no place in America, and they threatened to rape you. That is no place in America. But you know what else is no place in America? Lying and saying it happened to you. So we'll find out really quick if you're telling the truth or not.
That's cool, but like, can you answer my question though? If you,
My message to everyone in the audience, keep loving America.
okay.
But
What about loving your neighbor?
just so you know, this is going to become a very big issue. We're going to put this on social media because nowhere in America should you be allowed to go in front of a microphone with no evidence, no willingness to report, no likelihood to talk to police and say, oh, this happened to be at night, and ruin the reputation of half the country and say that they wanted to go rape me and call me the N-word. That is gross.
That is gross. You rotten apple. You poor excuse for a black boy. Get that nonsense out your head. What you think you think you raising little baby dinosaur eggs on your head? What's that in your nose? What you think you a rock? You part of a rock band? Boy, stop it. Man up. Go do some push-ups. Go do some push-ups. Go eat some snacks, man. Get your cholesterol up, boy. Go get your calories popping. How about that? You popping with the lipstick, right? You're a man. Look at you. You got lipstick on with a mustache. You think you cute, but you're not cute. You look like a fool. You look like a fool. Look at your forehead. Look at your hair, your neck. Get out of here, you liar. Thanks for watching. Deeply disgusted.